the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Latinos. Yeah, that's what this is. Latinos Out Loud.
Yo, cafecito. What's up, everybody? Hey, tu amiguita aquí representando. It's Rachel La Loca, your friend to the end. I got your back. Just remember that. And it's another episode of Latinos Out Loud. LOL, if you enjoy acronyms the way I do. And you know I love grammar. I really do. Hey, Grammarly, holler at me for a sponsorship. Okay, we are here live on location. You guys know I love to do Loca on location. We're in LES, the Lower East Side of Manhattan at Café Colmado. We're at 286 Broome Street, which is so awesome. I'm sipping on my cafe. And yes, I am foreshadowing for a special guest that we have who's also going to sip on cafe with me and talk a little bit more about the coffee bean. Yeah, because she's making some beans from the coffee right now. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to this special guest who's a very dear friend and sister to me, I got to do some shout outs. You already know. Number one, you guys, my parents just celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary. 59 years. Yeah, let that soak in for a sec, okay? They've been married since 1967, and I just want to say, oh my God, I'm getting the rock in my throat. You guys, emotional. Shout out to my parents who really taught me a lot about love and just how to coexist in a healthy and happy way. So mom and dad, happy anniversary. I also want to shout out my sister really quick because we got some very good news about her health. I love you, Madeline. I'm so happy that we got some great news about you. And then events, y'all. Oh my God, I've been busy as a bee. Want to rumble with the bee, huh? Bzz. Okay, yo. So shout out to Brooklyn College, my alma mater. You know I represent Brooklyn all day. Brooklyn. So I got to moderate a panel at Brooklyn College last week, and it was called How Podcasting is Shaping the Current Media and Political Social Landscape. It's a very long title, and I didn't want to mess it up, so I had to refer to my notes. Shout out to everyone there, Professor Alonso, who actually hired me to moderate this panel. It was incredible. I got to speak to fellow podcasters like former guest of Latinos Out Loud, Maria Hinojosa. All hail to the queen. She is host of the longest running Latino podcast, which is Latino USA. Also host of In the Thick, so shout out to her. And she's an entrepreneur. She started Futuro Media, and she's so awesome. Guys, please Google Maria Hinojosa if you're sleeping under a rock and don't know who this amazing woman is. Totally moving our culture forward. And then I got to also moderate a panel with the hosts of the Strict Scrutiny podcast. And when I tell you brilliance on brilliance on brilliance, these three women are so incredibly brilliant. Law professors, shout out to the University of Michigan, NYU, and Brooklyn College. And then also the host of Making Gay History podcast. It was really incredible, you guys. I was in awe, and amidst all this talent and brilliance, and we had a very good conversation about what I mentioned earlier, and there were students in the audience and other potential and future podcasters, so it was a really good vibe. Shout out to Brooklyn College for having me. The other event that I have to talk to, and shout out to Microsoft Copilot that invited me to experience Copilot. You guys, AI is the move, okay? And if you haven't realized, it is kind of taking over. I don't want it to replace jobs, but I do appreciate it for the enhancing of my life in particular. I do rely on AI for certain things these days, and I learned at this Microsoft Copilot event that I can even rely on it for some parenting help. So this is an event talking about how AI for abuelas, even though I'm not an abuela, okay, I'm just saying, but it was an event where you can learn about how Microsoft Copilot is there just for relationship stuff, kitchen stuff, when you're in there and you need to know how to enhance a recipe, which you know Latinos love to do. You can just shout out Microsoft Copilot and ask it questions. And now you can even speak to it in Spanish, and it will answer you in a very dialect-friendly way. I swear, I felt like I was talking to one of my primos. I was like, loco, ven acá, Copilot. Cuéntame sobre a dónde puedo conseguir Mama Juana. And yes, it answered my question. So shout out to Microsoft Copilot. Check it out. It's also baked and integrated within all the Microsoft suite of applications. And it even helped me with this episode's show notes. So shout out to you, Microsoft Copilot, my new best friend. Speaking of best friend, it is now time to introduce this amazing guest that I have for you guys today. I have known this woman for so long, and you guys have those friends that like you watch their growth and you have these proud moments, even like up like among yourself. I may not tell her this every day, but when I see her and her growth, I get so darn proud because I was there for a lot of these big steps that she made in her life, including leaving a corporate career that she established herself within and highly got a lot of respect out of it. And she made a big leap. And you know, when you have these friends that you also kind of see yourself in, I see a lot of me in her because I also made that leap from corporate to comedy. Anyway, you guys know her really well. She's killing the gram. She's killing it out there on TV. She's in commercials these days. Yes, you've seen her. She is a comedian. She's an entrepreneur, content creator. My girl, Jasmine Ruiz. What's up?
That was so sweet. Thank you. Oh, I feel the love.
You do feel it?
Love.
Good.
I feel it.
Take it all in.
It's radiating.
Good.
That was beautiful. Thank
It's
you.
real and it's radiating, and we're really at a cafe. Like there's coffee being made
We are at the cafe.
right behind us.
Shout out to Manolo because I'm obsessed with this cafe. We got like Abuela's couch right here. There's like the plastic wrap chairs from Abuela's living room over there. It's just and the coffee is amazing.
The coffee is amazing.
Yeah. And now I'm a coffee snob, so trust me, the coffee's good.
Well, you're a coffee snob because you own a coffee.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We did. Yes, I own a coffee company, guys. Momentos Cafe.
Yes.
Moments Coffee.
Well, we can get right into it.
Okay,
so,
talk to me.
One of the reasons why Jasmine is here right now, and it's not only because I want to talk to her about comedy and her career trajectory, is really because now, as I mentioned, she's an entrepreneur and decided to take her star power and her love for coffee and create something with it. So tell us about Momentos Cafe and where this even came from.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? Like, you'd be surprised at how having a following really attracts like interesting eyeballs on you because people are watching you even if you don't know people are watching you. You know what I'm saying? So, and you really never know who's watching you.
Right.
So when I first started doing content, obviously it was for fun. And then eventually I was like, no, I think I want to be on TV. Maybe I'll track someone that can help put me on TV, you know, whatever. Completely never would have thought that I attracted someone that has a coffee roaster.
Wow.
And they hit me up and he was like, listen, I'm from the Bronx, you from the Bronx. Like, I'm Cuban, you Puerto Rican. We both love coffee. Let's work together. Let's partner.
Look at that.
And I was like, you know what? I don't love coffee. Of course, I would love to have my coffee brand. And I think it's just like a great partnership because, you know, he does all the coffee side, I do the branding and marketing side. And
which you have a background in.
yes,
which
exactly.
we'll talk
so
about.
it feels really good just having, you know, that perfect balance. And yeah, so thus Moments Coffee was born. And here we are.
So tell us about this process. How do you go from not having a coffee to having a coffee? Because like the only thing I could draw a parallel to is like, you know, you guys when like the celebrities start perfumes, like they're always sniffing like being the lavender, the bergamot, you know, like, and so they're sniffing and like testing out different scents to how to like make the concoction of their own scent. So is that kind of how it works with coffee?
You know, he sent me a bunch of different types of coffee.
Okay.
And I got to pick my favorites.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it was kind of like that.
So you were drinking coffee all day.
I was just like, okay, now I have a bunch of bags of coffee. Suddenly I'm a connoisseur, and I'm like, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here, but this one is really good, and I like this one. So it went like that, and yeah, it's just a lot. It was definitely a lot of tasting. It took me like a week because I wasn't gonna drink that much coffee in one day.
And were you awake every day of that week? Did you get any sleep?
Some of them have more caffeine than others. So a couple days I was like, don't like that one, way too much.
What do you look for in a good coffee? Like, what's good coffee to you?
So you know what? I love that you asked that because what's good coffee to me is not always good coffee to somebody else.
Right.
So like one of the coffees that I had tried, I ended up bringing in because people wanted it. It was a light roast coffee.
Okay.
You know, they sent me light roast, medium roast, dark roast, medium to dark. You know, like I got a few different ones, and
I like my roast medium to dark. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. We like that. I don't like light roast coffee, and so I was like, no, I don't want that. Like it was too light. It felt watered down for me, and that's the one that had a lot of caffeine, and it felt a little acidic.
Interesting.
Yeah, so light roast coffee is like for me the most watered down. I like a heavy, thick coffee. And that for me is the dark roast. I throw in a bunch of dark roast,
Like
and it's
bold?
good. Like bold. I like a bold coffee, and that dark roast does it for me. But then people started asking, "Where's the light roast? I want a light roast. I want a light roast." So I'm like, wow, some people really like that.
Yeah.
So then I brought it in, and the people that like light roast, they're like, "Girl, this is bomb." And I was like, "I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. They really like it."
And how did you land on momentos or moments? Like, what does that mean to
Yes,
you?
So many moments happen over a cup of coffee.
Totally.
And I used to sit down with my ex's grandmother, and we would drink so much coffee. Like a little cup of cafecito in the morning, and then next thing you know, it was another one in the afternoon, and it's just coffee's flowing, And I really thought those are like such good moments. But then there's so many times where people are like, "Hey, let's chat about that project. Let's grab a coffee."
Yes.
So there have been so many like creative, special moments happen over a cup of coffee that ends up leading to business. And I'm like, coffee is literally like, it's business. It is, connecting with people. It's community. It's everything.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to, have a brand that really captured the special moments that you have over coffee, whether it is, in the workplace or bochinchando in the house. I wanted to capture both of those.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes all the sense in the world. You made me think of all the moments or the special moments that I've had with cafe, and like the smell of cafe also means a lot to me because it reminds me of like my mother, my grandmother, my tia, the sound of the percolator, with the like, I don't want to say the competitor's name, but like Bustelo, like, brewing.
No, you could say it. Listen,
Okay.
I used to always drink Bustelo. Now that I'm a coffee snob, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I drink Bustelo. Because I'm like, it's just not good. But for so long, I was like, this is the bomb. This is banging. So I understand our community. Bustelo really got you guys in a chokehold, but you're going to have to try Momentos, okay?
I'm dying to try Momentos,
Yes.
because it sounds like you put a lot of work into it. And I wouldn't say I'm a coffee snob status, but like I'm over Starbucks.
Oh, I've never liked Starbucks.
I'm sorry, Starbucks, but if you want to be
I'm
a
not
sponsor,
sorry.
you can easily get me back. But like, no, it was so milky, and like I want to taste the coffee, and I feel like any kind of brew that I've tried there, it's like layered, and the taste of the coffee kind of gets obliterated, and I just want to like be able to taste the goodness.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like a pretty boring coffee drinker. Like I just want café con leche. I love a little cappuccino or a latte or something, but I don't need to add the frills and thrills. I want to taste the actual coffee. I don't even add sugar anymore. But I don't like black coffee. I know. I feel like I should like black coffee.
Me too, because that's like the healthy way to go, right?
It's the healthy way to go, and it's where you get 100% of the flavor, like nothing added. But I like my little leche in there.
Me too.
I need it.
I need my oat creamer, like oat milk, a
fancy.
splash. Yeah, I'm big on a splash. Just a splash of oat. Okay, so speaking of splash, you've made quite the splash on Instagram and in the comedy scene.
Yeah.
But before that, you were in corporate working for a department store that we all know. I knew you during those times.
Yeah.
You were a different person. Jazz, like
Thank you.
you were... the grind was there, and your brilliance.
I've been grinding forever. I'm tired.
That's okay. But then all of a sudden, it was as if like this weight were lifted off your shoulders, and you were free. Free as a comedic bird.
Yeah.
So like, tell us about that transition. What made you leave corporate? What made you, and I told her this early, I'm like, girl, you went from corporate to comedy to coffee. She is the triple C effect, okay? Tell us about that transition and what led you to do it.
Okay, so for corporate, listen, I was great at my job.
Tell them.
Yeah, so there was like a big trip coming up, and they wanted to send me to South Korea to meet with some of our suppliers and the other team, the Macy's team out there. And at first I was like, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is an honor. Like, they trust me to go do my job over there and like negotiate in person and all of these things. So I was really, really honored about it, and I understand that is a privilege and a testament to my work. At the same time, I knew that I didn't want to stay in that job. So I felt like it was kind of like move up or out, and I felt like I was at a point where I needed to make a decision, because if I continued down that path, I felt like I would get more responsibility and less time for my creative career. And then it was also like, well, I didn't want to go over there. I ended up feeling like, oh no, I'm gonna have to go over to this beautiful place and be really excited to be in this new country and have this privilege, but I don't actually want to do the work there. Because I wanted to be doing my creative things.
Yeah.
So I just let them know, I'm like, hey, you know, I understand you want me on this trip, but I think I'm gonna be leaving the company. I'm not ready to leave right now, but you know, I don't want to go on that trip, show my face, and then leave. I feel like that would just be wrong to do. And they were like, okay. So rather than the 2 weeks, I put in like a 3 months. I was like, I need 3 months. I can't leave right now.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And yeah, so I put in my 3 months because I needed to stack up some bottles on the side.
And that's very considerate of you. You
that
know,
was really considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Most people are like 2 weeks and, you know, bye, deuces.
It's not even that I think they needed me for the 3 months. I mean, it was a really busy time, so I left at the perfect time with like a really good handoff. But I think I would have just felt bad going over there, showing my face, meeting all these people, and they'd be like, okay, bye, I'm leaving now.
Right.
You know, that just didn't feel right.
Right.
So I didn't do that. So, but yeah, so I left corporate. And I felt the huge weight lift off my shoulders. I'm like, oh my God, I have 100% of my time for myself.
Yes. Isn't it so crazy? Like the corporate shackles are like, brah, and like throw away the key. And then you just have these roads in front of you. And like, you know what? Today, I'm going to go down that road.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, I'm going to go down that road. And then the next day, I'm going to stay in bed.
Yes. And that's my favorite part of being self-employed. Like, my day is different every day. And some days I'm like, okay, I have 3 meetings today. But then this meeting moved and then this person canceled on me. But then this suddenly thing popped up. And then I have a surprise audition. Need to get that out quickly. Yeah. So it's just, I like the chaos of a day like that. Yeah. So I feel like I'm finally like in the career, the space I need to be in. I really love that.
And so comedy. Tell us more about your comedy, because you're a content creator. You do these hilarious videos on Instagram. You partner up with other content creators to do these skits. And then you dabbled in sketch. And by the way, she is a hilarious girl, okay? Part of the hilarious show. And might I say an integral part.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I always have fun with you on stage.
I know. You always hit me up. I got a surprise for you coming.
You
I have
do?
a video dropping soon, and there's a character in it that I haven't brought out in a really long time. It's
okay. I'm so excited. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because I would hit you.
Because he has gone to hilarious.
Yes. So we're talking about Dr. G.
Dr. G, yes.
Anytime we did a hilarious show, I would hit her up probably like 1, 2 in the morning, be like, hey, random thought that just came into my head. What if Dr. G were a podcaster? Yes. You know, like, let's put Dr. G in these crazy scenarios. And every time you brought Dr. G to that stage, he annihilated.
Dr. G is just so funny.
He kills, he assassinates, he guillotines, basically.
Guillotines.
Yeah.
Comedy. I love comedy. I think I decided in 2020, like that was like my thing. Oh, I want to do comedy. So I did stand up for like a year and a half. And I like stand up, but I'm very much like I can't half-ass anything. You know, we got a whole ass it. We got a 2-hand whole it.
Both cheeks.
Right. And I feel like stand up just took a lot of time, and the respect that I wanted to give it, I couldn't, donate so much time to doing it. Yeah. And I also really like sketch. It was so collaborative. Yes. I liked acting. And I liked the whole, aspect of playing with people on stage. It felt like a game. You know what I mean? So, so then I, went into sketch and obviously made a bunch of funny sketches online. I have a lot of friends that do that too. So I'm really happy with where I am right now in comedy and like doing funny comedy online. I do want to hit the stage again at some point, maybe this summer. Yep. I'm just really busy right now with content creation and so it's a juggling game. It's a juggling game.
And you're working with brands. So I want to paint this picture for you really quick, because I'm always like nerding out when it happens to me too. Because I also had this marketing career for 15 plus years and I threw in the towel. My last corporate gig was at Heineken, and I never thought that I would dabble in marketing again. I'm like, that's it. No more PowerPoints, no more crazy meetings for the meeting. No more working.
No more pins in it, no more circling back.
No more, let's close the loop on this, or like, no more like talking to HR, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And here I am again, now working with brands.
Look at that.
Look at that for the podcast, for production stuff that I'm working on.
But it's different because now it's like, the relationship is different.
Right, and you too. Now you're right back at marketing, however, with your own brand.
Right.
So talk to me about how that feels.
That feels really good to it feels good to be in a space where brands come to me and they're like, we value what you have to offer.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do for us? Like, what kind of video are you thinking? Wanting my ideas. I really appreciate when a brand wants my ideas and is willing to like work with me, bend a little.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I like the idea of one day getting Macy's to sponsor some content.
Hey, let's bring it back. Bring that old thing back.
Bring them back.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think I just enjoy working and listen, I enjoy a paycheck. I enjoy a paycheck. Let's not get it twisted, okay? Like,
Yeah.
it's fun to make the content. Like to cut it up. Appreciate the relationship building. Appreciate the paycheck.
Yeah.
So
now you've got a couple commercials out there.
Yes.
There's this Nike commercial, which is so funny, you guys.
Yes, I just dropped it.
Tell us about the Nike commercial. Tell us about that life. And, self-tape life is hard, man.
Yeah, self-tape life is tough. Yeah, you're always submitting. And I feel like, so for the Nike thing, it was crazy because I got the email from my agent and I read it and I'm like, okay, this is a radio spot. So then I booked it and I'm like, yes. And then they said, okay, come in for the fitting. So I go in for the fitting. I'm like, what are we fitting? They're like, the clothes. And I'm like, the clothes for what? Like, isn't this a radio spot? And they're like, oh, you're confused. I was like, I am. They're like, okay, so what we're doing is you are a radio host. It's not like an actual radio spot, like for the radio. You are on the radio in the commercial. I was like,
Yeah, I was
Oh my
confused about that too
God.
when I first saw it because you
Yes.
actually sound like a radio host.
thank you.
You really
Thank you very
do.
much.
And she's behind the board and she's got the
Yes, and
headphones.
it's an old school board. It was so cool. It was like really like 90s vintage vibes. And I was super happy. I'm like, wow, I got here thinking I was just doing a quick radio spot, in my sweatpants. But no, they hooked me up. It was cute. They were promoting the Air Force 3s that just came out. And it's a social commercial.
That's so great.
That's very exciting.
And you got to work with a puppet.
I got seeing the back end of the puppeteer life is my shoulder could never. Like, imagine you on the floor in a weird position and you just gotta hold this. Crazy. At some point, the puppet, like, his arm was shaking, and I'm like, he needs a break. It was really
So there was like a man
There's
or
a man
under you.
with the puppet. Yes.
Okay, like staring up your nostrils.
You know what? It's something like that.
I hope
Wait,
you didn't have no
okay.
mocos or anything.
I hope not. But he was very focused on getting that shoulder work in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing about the behind the scenes. You guys check out that ad. It's on your Instagram.
Yeah. So wait, also there was a time where like the puppet himself had like a photo shoot. So I'm like, so you see like all these photographers taking pictures of the puppet, and I'm like, look at this puppet being the star of the show.
And
you know what I mean?
He's into the material things, I
Completely.
guess. See what I did there? He's made of material.
That was cute.
Okay,
That was cute. I love
thank
a
you.
punch.
Yeah, I'm so punny. You know me.
I love a pun.
I have to punt all the
Yes,
time.
yes.
Okay, Jasmine, if you had a younger Jasmine in front of you who was like maybe, double dutching the idea of like, do I leave corporate? Do I stay in my job and be miserable? Do I not pursue my dreams? What are some words of advice that you would have for her?
I would tell her to definitely pursue your dream. It will 100% happen. And sometimes I think like, if I had known then what I know now, like would I have left corporate earlier? I don't know because being in corporate allowed me to try a lot of different creative ideas, with that security blanket of having that, paycheck coming in still. I just tried podcasting, I was dancing, thought I was going to do a clothing line for a while. Over the 7-year thing there, like I tried a lot of different things, and I feel like corporate allowed me to do that. But I would definitely tell her, you will leave corporate. Obviously follow yourself, you're a star, go do your thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Tell everybody where they can follow you and any projects that maybe you're working on now that you can tease us with.
You can follow me at the Jasmine Ruiz on Instagram and the Jazz Ruiz on TikTok. Jazz as a Jas, not a Z. And yeah, projects coming up. More commercials. I just filmed another one a couple weeks ago, and I just submitted another self-tape, which I plan on booking.
Okay. Universe, you heard? Okay.
And I mean, I filmed the movie last year. I don't know if it's dropping this year, but I hope so. So yeah, projects constantly ongoing. And watch out for my travel vlog because I'm doing a bunch of traveling and I'm very excited.
I love watching your travels. So I can't wait to see what you do with that. Well, it's been such an honor and a pleasure to finally have you on the show, like officially.
you.
Like we hang out a lot and like we
Yeah.
talk. So this is kind of like, come on my show. Okay. Like this is weird. But like it's great. I get to highlight my friends and the amazing things that they're doing. So please follow Jasmine. Let's support this woman in her career. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of Latinos Out Loud. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to Café Colmado for having us here. Come check out. This is an oat milk latte with cinnamon and vanilla, which is really delicious. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Nyoman, behind the scenes here. You can follow me at Rachel La Loca. That's RACHEL La Loca. You can follow the show at We Are Latinos Out Loud. You can also give us a call, no big whoop, 978 Latinos, and check out our website. We have one of those. I know, so old school, right? It's wearelatinos.com. No, it's not. It's wearelatinosOutloud.co. .com was purchased by a Chinese company. You won't understand maybe you understand Mandarin, and if so, maybe you can translate, what they put up on the website for me. But it's wearelatinosOutloud.co. And on that note, we out.
Deuces.
It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast.